All right, I'll start that over again. So we are going to be talking about marketing through emails and text messages through Customer Factor. So first off, you do need to make sure that you have your email actually set in Customer Factor. So how you would do that is you would go into My Account, and then you would go to Email and Text Messages, and then the general email setup, and it brings you here. So I want to fair warn you guys, if you don't know, come February 1st, this big DKIM and DMARC is going to hurt people who are not using their domain. So for instance, you see on mine, I have my simplymadeok.com. If you're using a Gmail or a Yahoo or something like that, then Gmail and Yahoo will send back and ban your emails. So it's very, very important to start thinking about this. It's a process that you have to go through, and I have put some links in our Facebook group to kind of start getting you ready for this. But please, 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 if you want to market to clients, this needs to be updated and done. I do have a contact if you don't know how to do it yourself and need help. Reach out to me and I can share his information who did mine. But again, please, if you don't hear anything, make sure that this is done today. All right. So I am going to be going over the actual automations and text messaging. Mr. Hugo was kind enough to jump in here, and he is going to actually train you on how to do your how to create an email and that kind of stuff. So everybody, if we can kind of give a round of applause to Hugo for jumping in and helping me, I really appreciate it so I don't have to lose my voice. So I will stop sharing, and Mr. Hugo, you're up.
I'm up. Let's see. Okay, so we are in, so she was here, and you have the same menus that you have here. They're all lined up here, so you can go from tab to tab. So I'm now in the create and edit emails tab. And those will be used for several purposes. For example, one that I use very often is rain check email. Okay, well, okay, fair warning, I'm in Canada, French part of Canada, so most of my emails are French, but I made one in English just to just for the purpose of this thing here. So in the morning, okay, we are a window cleaning company here, so when it's raining, some customer, well, when it's raining a bit, we go, but when it's raining too much, it's not fun for the guys to work in the rain, and the customers usually complain. So I go into the app, I go at the appointment of the customer, and I just send email and select one of the emails I already set up here. So I don't have to manually send everything to the customers. So it's almost automated, basically. I just send them an email. But you have many email types, some for customers, prospects, estimates, everything. So let's go through this quickly. So customers, you will have to, you can put different email addresses you own here. So this is my main one. And when sending an email, you can send a blind CC. So Artie was asking earlier, was it blind or just CC? My guess is it's blind. You can put the address here, so you can receive the blind copy or send it to someone else that will be important for them to know. And you can create email templates. Okay, so let's create one together. So the email title is something for you that will be what will appear here. Okay, so rain check email, for example. A subject line is what the customer will see. You can personalize it here with, for example, customer info. For example, it could be Dear, and then Dear Tom with first name, for example. And here you will write your text, of course. You can also personalize stuff with scheduling info, all sorts of interesting informations. There's many, so I invite you to just go and look at them one by one. If those that are more difficult to understand, I guess, they have a question mark here, so the explanation is there. So that's it, really. And then you can insert your signature here, complete or standard. That's a signature tag. And then you can do save and close. So let's look at the rain check email I did here. I said, I'm sorry, it's raining. Hello, first name. It sucks, but it looks like we're going to be raining. It's going to be raining too hard today to be able to accomplish your cleaning. This email is just to warn you that someone will call you today and to reschedule the appointment. If you have questions, don't hesitate, and then just send it. Again, I'm not using that email for real. This is the real one. It's a bit longer. Not that much longer, but there's a signature at least. Okay. So that's for customers. So why would you choose customers or prospects or whatnot? We'll see here. So again, this part is the same. And these will be only available for customers. Oh, by the way, you will be able to send those to from the profile. So I send them most of the time. I send them from the account, from the app, but you can send them from the email tab right here. You see, since this person is a customer, I have a list of all the predefined emails that I set up. So the rain check is here. Rain check emails here. And by the way, here you can look into your history to see which email you sent before, which is quite useful sometimes when
Recording in progress.
Okay. Janice. Sometimes when I send the big proposal and I send terms of services and whatnot, and the person says I never received it, I can go look into the history and see exactly what I sent. Also, the history here will show when you create a custom email. Basically, you can choose a template, but you can always just write an email just like you would write into your email client. You can do it from here. The good thing about this, again, it will show up in the history of the email here. Okay, so let's go back. Any questions so far?
Yes, Hugo, the question is, when we email through the customer factor, do we need to worry about the DKIM and DMARC?
Up until now, no, but I don't know what's going to happen coming February. I send it through my own email. I use the I don't know where the setting is, maybe here, but you usually can choose if you send it through the customer factor or through your own email. I always send it through my own email, so that probably will not be a problem for me. But through the customer factor, I don't know if it will be or not.
So you're saying that if it goes through your personal email,
Yeah.
but company email, it's better than sending it through what other email?
The customer factor has their own servers that they can send email from. I used to do it. I used that a long time ago. I don't know if Stephanie knows what I'm talking about.
I do, yes.
Okay, can you enlighten us, because it's been years since I've used that. I stopped using it because people replied and they saw it was basically Vitrutenet at thecustomerfactor.com or something. So they said, "Who are you?" And they were confused. So I started using my own email.
Yeah, so I will answer on this DKIM and DMARC thing. So February 1st, it is going to affect everybody at Gmail and Yahoo that we send to. So you have to put a DNS on your website that communicates with Google and Yahoo and says this is a trusted site. So that's the reason I really am pushing everybody to do this now and not freaking out February 1st when people aren't getting your emails. So please get with somebody that knows what they're doing with these.
Okay, thank you. So the prospect tabs here for the custom emails is basically what will appear in the emails, custom email section of the prospects. Estimates, it's actually emails that you will send with your estimates. And for example, here I have an email that's sent with my big proposal. I have a big proposal for my Christmas lights. I have one here for when sometimes some customers I will just send them a simple estimate instead of a big proposal. So you have this here. If you want to customize your big proposal for certain types of customers, like this is the property managers, I have an email just for them. That's where you do it. Invoices is the email that will go with your invoice. Statements is the email that will go with your account statement, where you tell them you need to pay me this invoice, and this invoice. And payment reminder is, well, what it is. So basically all the emails are here for you to edit or set up yourself. One more thing I wanted to show you, just in case people didn't know. Let me look for a customer. Any customer will do. So I have an estimate here I want to send. And if I do email here, this is what I meant here. Well, I have different big proposal created. So the main one is this one. This is where I will choose my email template that I set up in the prior page. So I usually click big proposal. It will change that template here. You need to make sure that you have this big proposal tag in the body of your email, so they can click on it and reach your big proposal. So I think that's it for my part. I think Stephanie just wanted to sign her package, maybe. So, oh yeah, she got it. So just perfect timing, Stephanie. I'm just done. And you're muted.
All right, I assume you're done. Sorry. Yep, I got my shipment, so perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
All right. So let's talk about automation. So the beautiful thing with Customer Factor is that we can automate all of our drip marketing. So who uses drip marketing through Customer Factor? Yay, Paul, I knew you would be. All right,
So
Curtis, good.
So,
All right.
Paul, can you tell us, so we have Keap, K-E-A-P, which used to be the Confusionsoft or Infusionsoft before. And just, is it comparable? Does it do the same thing or similar things that that Infusion or Keap does?
So it may not be as robust, but I know for us, it certainly serves the purpose. I know that in our marketplace, people don't already pester too long, and they're going to make a decision pretty quickly. So, our campaign goes out. I think we send out about 5. I may have added a 6th. Like I kind of went out like 30 days. So, and we get some results from that 30-day email, which is surprising. 30 days seems to be, some of those people that have tried another service. Most of the people in our marketplace, they're pretty quick to make a decision. They don't waste time. It's almost like the first reputable service that gets back to them is and of course, provided, pricing is comparable, the first service to kind of get back to them gets the job. So we try to do it pretty quickly. We love the big proposal. We use that all the time. Again, I think the campaign goes over, I think there's about 6 emails that go out over the course of 30 days. And I find that it works pretty well for us.
How easy, difficult is it to build those campaigns?
Simple.
That's what we're going to be doing right now, RJ.
All right, perfect.
So, and I can also answer that as far as the differences between Keep and Customer Factor. Customer Factor is a lot simpler. I am a Keep partner, so I can build those major intense campaigns with Keep. But I still use Customer Factor, believe it or not, on my first 30 days. So I actually prefer using Customer Factor over Keep on the first 30 days, just because of ease. Now in Keep, we do have reminders set for this, but other than that, I love for cost, this is a lot better than, I mean, obviously you're going to pay a lot more for Keep. So
Does anybody use, is Keep the same thing as like Active Campaign?
it's close. So Keep is a little bit cheaper than Active Campaign, but I've not used Active Campaign. So Keep, its old name is Infusionsoft.
Okay.
So, all right. So the only thing that I don't really love is if you're building out a campaign and you want to have email, text message. They're on two different screens. So I highly recommend sitting down and actually writing down kind of your thought process of what you want to send out. So we send out the big proposal, and then like 5 minutes later, we send out a text message saying, hey, my big fingers could have got your email address wrong, or my fat fingers or something like that. So let me go into, oops, wrong one. I'm gonna get there soon. Okay, sorry, damn. So prospects, we have our estimate follow-ups. So like I said, on the text message, we'll go over that in just a little bit, but I went through and kind of just did, day 1, 30 minutes later, my fat fingers, and then the first day or the day after, it's more of a, okay, let's, hey, thank you for letting Simply Made give you your estimate. All of a sudden I got really nervous. So, it's saying, thank you for the opportunity, and if you have any questions, kind of thing. So that's going to be the first email that happens. And then one day after that, they get a Simply Made thing, makes things simply easier. So we're hounding them pretty much. As Josh Latimer has told me, you want to piss your prospects off until they either say yes or no. So I am going after them as much as I possibly can, because I want them to say yes or get off my email list. So we're hitting them pretty hard.
Is persistent a better word?
I guess so.
So Stephanie, real quick, so you got, you're sending this out like one day after, then the third email, 2 days, fourth email, 2 days. Are one of these, these are all emails.
These are all emails. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll go to the text side. Since it's, I guess I could do it in 2 different, so let's just try this.
No,
And of course, it's gonna take a while.
And once a prospect approves, then no more, those emails automatically are not sent out. Is that correct?
Right. That's the reason I am using Customer Factor and not Keep, is because my office people, which both of them are on here, so I have to be really nice. And they, they get busy, and I don't want our clients, our now clients, to get irritated that we're continually sending text message, because we do hound them. I want it to stop immediately. So that's kind of the reason I've kept it in Customer Factor. We're going to try this. Okay.
Stephanie, can I just ask a question quick about that?
Yeah.
So do it stops when they accept the estimate or when it's scheduled? Because we've had issues where the estimate has been accepted, but I'm a couple weeks out, and so I haven't scheduled them immediately. And then they keep getting the emails, and they're like, I already accepted this. I'm waiting for a call from you. And I feel like it's doing the same thing. Do you happen to know?
I feel like, now this is, that cop out. I feel like it's once they become a customer, they move from the prospect to the customer stage.
Okay.
So if they kind of stay in that limbo in prospect, I would probably move them into the customer.
Yeah, once they get scheduled, it stops.
Okay. It doesn't really help.
I think that's even
No,
if
but that's okay. No,
it as
thank
an
you.
on hold, it'll stop. So even if you don't have a date to drop them onto yet, but you turn them into an on hold, as far as date goes, it'll stop. I think it's supposed to stop when they accept, but I don't think it always does. Same thing. So we move them to an on hold if I don't have a date for them already. So.
Okay, awesome. I've never used that feature, so I will look into it. Thank you.
I love on hold. So, okay. Does this work? Is this confusing, you guys? This is email side. This is text message side. Is this confusing or is this good? Okay. So here's where fat fingers, we send this text message right off the bat saying, here's their first name, just checking to see if you got the quote, and it also gives them their link. And I will have to say, we get so many laughs from this little text message because we're using fat fingers. I don't, we try to go with humor a lot, or I try to. So that goes out immediately, pretty much. And then it, come on, computer, please like me. I have too many screens open. Okay. And then it goes into this day one, we send this one, and then 3 days. So so you have to remember, so this is day one. This is now 2 days. This is 3 days. This is the third day, no, 4th day. So this would be 4th day, because it's from the last time that it was sent through this. So it is really confusing. So you do have to make sure that when you have it written out, you kind of know your days. So we have our wow clean, this is kind of referring, hey, talking about, and we want to wow you. Come on. And then I'm trying to follow my process because there is a lot. So 2 days after that, we send our reviews. We're trying to get them to say, hey, we need to trust this company. So we're sending the reviews. And then we have a link that actually goes to our Google reviews so that they can see more. And then it comes back over here to the text message and it sends a, hey, let's recreate smiles and sparkles. We really want to sparkle your house. So again, we're trying to harass them a little bit. Harass, I shouldn't be saying harass, but you guys know what I mean. So then 2 days after that, a follow-up email comes back again. And this is just, hey, are you overwhelmed with cleaning? Come on, let us do your jobs, you know. So it's telling them why you should choose us.
And Stephanie, at any point, you can take one of your postcards or something that may have an offer to a new client that you can put in here and send, right?
Yes. So we actually have that through our Keep. It reminds my office people to send a postcard on day 5. My dogs, I'm sorry. So then on day 12, after, and you can kind of tell I started getting lost on my numbers. So I started labeling them days because of the 3s and the whatever. So again, highly recommend if you're doing this to sit down if you're wanting them to kind of integrate. So we did a text message that says, when can I call? When can I book you? And this is again coming from Josh Latimer. Be direct and ask for the sale. So we're trying to be direct and asking for the sale. Come on, let's book you. Somewhere in here, we have an email. Okay, we have our frequently asked questions. You know, boring, but it's there. It's getting them to look at it. Be inspired and reset. So we want them to go on a walk, enjoy their life, read a book. So we're trying to kind of get them to think about what else could you be doing instead of cleaning a darn toilet. And then,
Hey, Stephanie, can I ask a question?
yeah.
So we always only ever do just one follow-up is what we've always done. And I did it originally because of the risk of the email going to spam. My follow-up email is very no links, no pictures in it, nothing like that. So that way it's kind of, hopefully it'll slip through. But one thing I've always hated about it is that same follow-up has always went out to everybody when we send out a quote. And maybe this was something we could do before. Is it possible? Do you send the same sequence if somebody is already your customer and they just want a quote on a different house or something like that? Do you send the same sequence to them, or is there a different sequence for a prospect versus a customer?
So this is a prospect. So this would only go to a prospect.
Okay.
In a big proposal. So if a customer got a new quote, it would completely stop it. And then that's when my Keep kind of comes into play, where I have it marketing through there.
Does anybody know, is there a follow-up sequence that is it possible to separate that? To have one sequence for a prospect follow-up and one sequence for a customer follow-up?
There is another estimate follow-up right here, drips.
And that's under customers. Okay.
Yeah, but the prospect tab is right below in blue.
Yep.
So
So you can
estimate follow-up is for when you send an estimate to the customers, that'll be up there. But if you send an estimate to a new prospect, it will be below.
Excellent. I think that would be a lot better for us. So
awesome. Good question. Very good question. So day 30, we do a just checking in. So this is going to be pretty much, okay, I'm done harassing you. you know, and I think somewhere in here, your proposal is about ready to expire. Again, we're trying, sorry if my dogs are too loud. We're trying to get them to book. And then day 25 on our text, let's lift your spirits with our amazing deep cleans. Let's set that date. My dog is being naughty. And then our last one right before they get that last proposal is your time's running out. Come on, book now before your price could go up. And this one does good. So I highly recommend doing this one. This one seems to convert. I don't know if I need to do it a little earlier, but does anybody have any other things that they do in this? Does this help you guys with kind of the thought process of what you can do?
That's amazing. I didn't even know we could do stuff like that. Yes, that blew my mind.
Good.
That is the purpose of this, Janice.
To learn new stuff.
Exactly. All right, Stephanie,
Yes,
thank
definitely.
you. We are like 2 or 3 minutes away from our time. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your time, volunteering, helping us get this moving. One of the things that Paul and I had spoken about a while back, and Paul, please interject anytime, is that if Steve has 4,000 users of his customer factor, why don't we all get together for 3-4 days somewhere? And for you up north, I'm sure you want to go somewhere south where it's warmer, and have a customer factor, seminar.
Can I just make a quick proposal on that?
Go for
A
it.
big proposal?
No, to all of you. There is a ISSA regional event in March, and it's on a Saturday. And since, some of us might be going to that, why don't we throw in a little customer factor thing a couple days before and see if we can have a learning event in the same hotel that we're staying?
Stacy, where is that?
It's in Austin, Sharon Tinberg.
I do know that they're offering the HCT that Thursday and Friday. So some people may be caught up in that. Part of us is.
Yeah, that's the before. You're right, Marlo. And there's a lot of value in piggybacking off of events because people are already there, and you can get them to stay a little bit longer. So maybe it's that Sunday, Monday where we kick it off, and Monday through Wednesday, Monday through Thursday, whatever. But is that something people would attend?
I would definitely do it.
Okay, so raise your hand. If we can't see you, we can't see you, sorry. But is that something you would attend?
Yes.
I think piggybacked on makes a big difference. I'd love to see it tied to the huge convention for washers. There's a lot of us there. So.
Okay.
I agree
But
with
I
you,
think
dude.
that, some of us that got together, last year, it was instrumental in my kind of rediving back into this. And that in-person connection for a couple of really intense work days, it doesn't have to be a giant group to really benefit. I think even having, they piggyback off 2 main events, it gives, maybe I can only go to one, or only you can go to one, right? I think going to one is imperative and I brought this one up because it's early March. We're early in the year. We're early in our campaign. We all have new, fresh goals. Be a good thing to think about.
Curtis, when is huge?
It'd be about third week of August. Off the top of my head, it's August 18th through the 21st, somewhere around in there.
Okay. All right.
Without closing the screen down, I can't say for sure, but it's right in there. I know that. So
Oh, that's okay, that's okay. How many, I'm sure you don't know the exact number, but are there a lot of Customer Factor users in that group?
I think so. Yeah. Honestly, this has been eye-opening to me to see how many when you referenced earlier about maid users being in and then Paul's background and everything. I thought window cleaners and washers were the dominant Customer Factor people. You know what I mean? So this is cool to see that it's more industries. To be honest with you, if it's okay with you guys, I was going to post into some of the other wash groups this afternoon
Please do.
to try to, I feel like, nothing against Steve, nothing against the Customer Factor, but that they get in their own way in the original Facebook group, I guess you could say. And it limits, the amount of growth that people can do with the software. Where in a group like this one that's separate, I would like to bring more of the washers in and make the group more larger, more robust, more users, and everything. So I feel like there's a lot to be learned, and there's power in numbers in that. So
Exactly.
Yeah, I
That
agree
would be
with
wonderful,
Curtis.
Curtis.
I agree with Curtis. I mean, I thought it was more the exterior cleaning was the majority of the group. So that's what I was saying. This is really cool to see how you guys do it, and it might change how we do it. But the huge is August 22nd to the 24th in Nashville, Tennessee this year.
August, okay, thank you. So, yeah, I mean, we're talking what, 7 months from now? Do we want to wait that long? Do we want to ramp ourselves up till then? There's a lot of questions, but as long as people are willing to go to something that will benefit them and Customer Factor has never had anything like that before. And I think that's keeping us from really, really learning and deep diving into things we need to know. And I would definitely want Steve and his group or his staff to be involved in this.
would they?
They would have to be, Curtis. They would have to be.
They would have to be involved because who else is going to give us our swag that goes around with the Customer Factor sweatshirts?
I got to meet Steve one time, and that's when I signed up at a UAMCC event, probably 6-7 years ago in Charlotte, and that's the last time that I've known the Customer Factor to be anywhere. It's like it just disappeared. Not like I could get them on the phone if I needed to or email, but as far as events go, I've not seen them anywhere. So
Right. And that's what we're trying to do is bring some light onto it, bring some more attention onto it, and bring people together so we can continue learning.
I need a t-shirt.
Alicia wants a Customer Factor t-shirt, and you will have one.
Listen, Steve's he's the man behind the curtain, right? We've had I've had a lot of dialogue with him over the past few months, and who was trying to get to see him in December, but due to flu and some illness, wasn't able to do it. I'm going to try to do it the month of January or the first week of February to go spend some time with him. He knows that he needs to do more. He's given into perhaps starting to search for a CEO, somebody that could really kind of be the face of this thing. I don't think he wants to be, but it's, this is his baby, right? He's nurtured this thing from the start, and he holds it very near and dear to his heart. And, he's having a hard time letting go. But he knows that in order to grow, he has to do that. He sees all of these other groups, these other CRMs, gathering annually, sometimes even, semi-annually, holding these conferences. He knows he needs to do that. He knows that his customers want it. Listen, if we sent notice to him and said, hey, we have 250 users are getting together in Vegas, to discuss your program, we might not give him a choice but to show up. He may have to, right? So, I think it's encouraging to see all these people together. Stephanie, thank you so much for sharing what you did. I think it's great, and I'm going to circle back with you later. But I think that it'd be great to get together and do something.
Yes, and Alicia, you're absolutely right. Steve is a fantastic man, and if he wasn't, I don't think Paul and I would have started this. If he wasn't, and I agree with Paul, you start something, and as you can see, right, so many people have started things. For example, I recently went to a chamber event where the founder of Home Depot spoke, Mr. Arthur Blank. Had he not given up his little baby, Home Depot would not be what it is today. It takes other visionaries to take it to the next level and the next level, right? And I think that's what's lacking here, is Steve holding on dear to his heart. But once he does release and he sees the interest in the community, it will be what he wants it, what he has envisioned for this to be. Yes, always hire someone smarter than you. That's why I'm surrounded by smart people.
Hey, RJ, do we got a minute for me to ask one question too?
Please do, Curtis.
It'd actually be back to Stephanie. On your text follow-ups, I dabbled into the text back in the old version before the update came out, and I got bogged down in it and said, okay, I'm staying in email. I know that I'm staying the way of the horse and carriage by doing that. I noticed in watching your screen, like it had a number in there. Is that number your number, the office? Like can you reply, or actually can they reply to your text and you reply back to them?
Yes, they can reply, but then we have it where they reply to our dial pad or our voice over IP phone number. And when it replies to that, then we go to, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Then we have to go and find out, search the number, because the number comes up, and find out who that person is. And then we reply to them via that, their regular phone number in our
Is that
IP.
Is that the industry standard on that, or like the big dollar crazy CRMs? Is that how they're doing that too, or is it in the software? Like what I would envision, and this is the only CRM I've ever used and I love it. Steve could send an email tomorrow and say, hey, it's going to be 4 times more what you're paying now, and I would jump right into it. But what I would envision is it being like email history, but being like a text history. Like I could pull it up on the customer's account and be able to see every text we've sent back and forth. Is that something that is out there? Is that the future of this, or is that not ever going to happen?
I might be able to answer you, Curtis. Sorry. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yes, please.
I use Responsibid also for my estimates, and in Responsibid, there's a window under the customer profile with all the communication. So it's not set up in the customer factor, basically.
Right. Other software definitely does that. So I got shiny syndrome and went to Made Central for 6 months. And it had it to where it would communicate back and forth with that same Twilio account. But the cost just wasn't worth it to me. I was paying $880 a month when I could be using that $840 on something else. For a few technology things. So I guess we'll deal with the things until Steve gets that there. The technology is there.
And I think too, if you have a good voice over internet phone system, we do it a lot like Stephanie. It's just you see that phone number on the caller ID, you put it in customer factor for just a second, pops up the customer name. And in our phone system that we use, we can then take that phone number and give it a name in our VILP, and then it pops up that way every time afterwards. So, and the history is left in that. And if we want to copy and paste some history over something regarding a customer, we can actually just copy and paste it and drop it into customer factor. But it also just stays forever in our history of our voice over internet phone system, which is calls and texts.
Yeah. So besides Curtis, one more question. Besides Curtis, are you part of any other groups that you can let them know that we exist and ask them to join us on Facebook, please? If you do, please do. And I want to hear who are you and what other group are you talking about? Anyone? No? Okay. And by the way, this is not punishment for Stephanie to go to a different software and she came back. This is very like recovery and therapeutic for her, right, Stephanie?
Right, yeah.
So we're
But I
glad
learned-
you're back. Go
I
ahead.
learned a lot from going to the shiny object and realized how much customer factor can do for the price and how much more I could utilize it. So I was glad that I did my 6 months there, and I did communicate very heavily with Steve in that time frame because I wanted him to see what this shiny object was, and we spent a lot of time on Zoom during that time so that he could hopefully get some of those wonderful things in customer factor. So those are there.
So it's we're happy to know all this. We know we have a good piece of software. We just need to learn, we need to grow, and we need to spend some time here. So everyone, thank you for spending your time this afternoon here. In 2 weeks, January 25th, we will be back. We will have another topic to go through. That is the day I actually turned 60, so I will be traveling back from my first trip. And the next 3 weeks, 3 sessions, I am traveling. I'm traveling all over the world for my 60th birthday. So forgive me for not being here, but I will be back as soon as I'm back in town. So until then, Stephanie,
I have a question.
everybody is going to be working, helping, supporting her, and making sure that we keep this going. Yes, Paul?
So real quick, I know that we could probably do it if we, go into everybody's Facebook profile, but can everybody just go into the Facebook group and just post your domain names?
Sure.
I mean, that'd be great. I'd love to kind of see websites and, what you guys are doing and where you are.
You want separate posts, or do you want one post started and everybody just comment?
I'll start a post.
Okay, so yeah, we can just piggyback off Stephanie's post.
Hey, Stephanie, I'm interested in that email person that you were talking about
Okay,
earlier, the DKIM.
I will get you that information.
Awesome. Everybody, thank you for being
no-
on the call today, and Happy New Year. Continued success.
Real fast before we head out, what do you guys want to talk about next in 2 weeks?
Ready?
We do online booking.
Reports.
We could do online booking.
Online booking would be great.
Okay.
I need
Online
help
booking.
with gift cards.
Oh, that goes hand in hand. Online
Yep.
booking and gift cards.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that'd be great.
Are we good with that?
Sounds good.
All right. Does anybody want to help with that?
I would, but I don't know how.
I have not figured it out.
I can help you out.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, great.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
See you
Thank
guys.
you, everyone.
Birthday.
Thank you,
Going on
Stephanie.
your trip.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Be careful.